Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. From those one who are first on the channel, I would like you to subscribe, to like the video, and to share so that many people can be able to reach our channel. Guys, today I'm coming to discuss about our exit to the World Cup. Today I'll be discussing and to give my view about really what happened, to my opinion about the South African exit to the World Cup. I've got different angle of this situation that I would like to share with you guys. And if you have also an opinion, you can put it on the comment section for us to share the idea to lighten up the people. What I'll be discussing first about South African exit, I'll be talking today about the performance of the team. I'll be talking about the performance of the team. I'll be talking also about the link between the xenophobia and the South African exit to this World Cup. Yeah, there's also a link between the xenophobia and the South African exit. That's something that I'll also be talking about. I'll be also talking about why other countries are succeeding in black spot than South Africa. Why other countries are succeeding in black spot than South Africa. Why is it happening like that? It's also another point that I will be discussing on this video. And also the fourth point that I would like to talk about, I'll be talking about what South African must do if they want to improve black spot in all competition. If South Africa want to improve black spot in all competition, what South Africa must do. I also want to, on this video, to talk about that. And my final point that I'll be talking on this video will be why challenge can improve performance and determination to succeed in life. Why challenge can improve performance and determination to succeed in life. Those are those 5 points I would like to discuss about today and give my own opinion. Let's start from the first point, the performance of the South African during this World Cup. Guys, South African performance was great. The first game a little bit bring us some sadness, but I think that the team in general, as it was the first game, I think that the whole world was looking at them, and they didn't find themselves already in the competition. I think that is what, on my view, give the flop to that first game. Mexico was beatable. Yes, guys, Mexico was beatable. But I think that our team, South African team, as the first game, most of the need experienced team, need experienced player in the world level. It's not mean that South African player was not experienced, but in the world level, I think that most of them, they didn't pick up the game as a first match. But already from the second match, we see South Africa improving, guys. And the third game was 100%. And I think that as the game goes, the South Africa was improving and improving until even the last game with the Canada. They showed that the South Africa was on the level of competition, but just lack a little bit of things. It's just a little things that lack to South Africa to be able to reach to the point whereby other countries took to reach. That is a little bit in general what I wanted to say to the whole competition. I'll congratulate the goalkeeper. I'll congratulate all the team. They play well. Williams, they play very well. I think he saved us a lot of goals, and the defense was very, very good. The attack, the strategy that they put in place was to take their time they was well concentrated, especially on the last game. The crowd was shouting, trying to try to discourage them, or to make that they must not be focused on their game. But William and the whole team, they was quite calm, do not really react to the stage, because the stage people, when they was trying to send the ball at the back to try to reorganize their game, you can hear the crowd shouting, wow, wow, just trying to try to discourage the goalkeeper, or to try to make that the guys could not be focused on their game plan. But in general, guys, I would say South African team, you did well. You did well, but it's been already some couple of years that the South African team, especially on the soccer level, are still going out on the competition after certain performance the same way. We need now to start winning. Yeah, we must start winning now. We must not only be there to say we're having a good performance and we don't get anywhere. If you see the team when in the first African Cup of Nations, where you can see Mark Fish, Herman Kelele, all that team, you were seeing that the team was having a certain fighting spirit that today the game are not more the same. I don't blame the guys, but it's only that the game has changed. The soccer they play today is not the same way they play maybe 5, 10, or 15 or 20 years ago. So that on the time of Mark Fish, on Helman Kelele, and how I would say a very great team, man. A very great team. I think everyone was happy to see that team. The way they was playing, they was all in one, and that was a fighting spirit on that time. But since that time, we never again been on that winning strategy. I think that the team now must start not good performance only, to work to win trophies. We not more only be there to say that we have done great, we have played well, but now is the time that we must not only play well, we must start winning games and moving to the next level. That was a little bit about performance that I can put on the South African team. It was a great performance, but what on my view is that we must start to win games, to win the competition. We must start organizing ourselves to be a winning team, not to win a game only, but to win the whole competition. We must put that strategy in place. Yeah. Yesterday I watched the game, and I was with a couple of friends. I talk a lot. I make, as you see, my T-shirt in 2010. I save it. This T-shirt only come out on special occasion like yesterday, and I'll share the video for those moments with you as when the time come. So I'll move to my second point of this video, that is the link between xenophobia and South African exit. Guys, let not put maybe our temper up, or let not put our anger, or maybe let's try to be fair. Let's try to be 100% fair. The exit of South Africa yesterday, scoring at the 92 minutes, the game was finished, guys. They are signs that we black, we must not ignore. That was a sign that we must not ignore. It was not a good sign. It was a sign of things not going well. That was a nature that did it. It was not that the player was not good. The game plan, nothing wrong with the game plan, nothing wrong with the performance, but the nature would decide on that game. And I think that the nature didn't favor South Africa yesterday. My link between xenophobia is that When in the country or even in your house, if there's no peace, if people are not happy, if there's not a good vibe, there are things that can go wrong anytime due to the spirit that is running around that particular place during that particular time. I think when South Africa went to this World Cup, this thing of xenophobia was something that was hanging in South Africans' head. If we remember the first game between South Africa and Mexico, there was a group of people, African people, who was supporting Mexico. I didn't support that idea, but I can also hear what they feel. The idea was not a good idea, but I also trying to understand why did they do that? Why? Because in that particular time, at the beginning of this World Cup, it was not even 2 weeks or 1 month ago that South African was chasing foreigner. And that video was all over the social media, and the international news also was talking about. That was not a good thing, a good sign, or a good vibe that someone can take to go to the particular competition. I will say that for me, that goal that South Africa get on the 92 minutes, the game was already finished. They concede that goal. For me, it was just that bad luck. And that bad luck sometimes, as African people, are always a sign by telling us something, by telling us that we have to fix our things. We have to avoid doing certain things. It's said to see a black fighting a black. Me, I never see those things. A Afrikaner fighting with a German in South Africa or asking him to go back to his country. Guys, I'm not happy. I'm not happy about the way that the South African is crowded by people moving around, doing nothing, and doing illegal things. I'm totally against. I'm not talking about that. The idea that South African are fighting about is a bad idea. I don't say it's a bad idea, but the strategy and the way to doing it is who is wrong. The strategy and the way to doing it is wrong. You don't do that way, attract the whole world to be looking negatively about you on that kind of behavior, to go out chasing foreigner, using stick, beating them. The videos are all over the social media, the black beating blacks. When we was already struggling from slavery time to apartheid, why us black? Why? We must ask ourselves why. The things that you're talking about, the thing that you are complaining about, I totally understand. But the way that you're taking it to fight that issue is wrong. I'm repeating it again. We are not the government. The government have offices. The government have people working for them. And if the government are not doing nothing, as maybe you can put on the place that we are doing this because the government is not doing nothing, I think that the government have offices where you can go and riot there and march and bring a memorandum for the government to respect or to obey what you want the government to do. There's nowhere in the world where citizens are chasing or are fighting other citizens, or not even citizens. Let's say when citizens are fighting foreigner, there's nowhere in the world. And the sad part again is in Africa, where black in Africa is fighting other blacks in Africa. Just try to understand what I'm meaning here, that the black are fighting blacks. Just look, if maybe you are in another country Put yourself in the white man's shoe when you see two of them are fighting. How it look like from our past, fighting apartheid, fighting slavery, fighting, and today we're fighting among ourselves. We are fighting here, and that issue of xenophobia and so forth. We're talking here, when I hear a lot, they're talking about people selling drugs to our country, people selling this in our country. Guys, me, I'm 100% sure that all those people that are selling drugs are well known by the authority. If they are not known by the authority, they've been known by our neighborhood. Why our neighborhood? Why our neighbors? They don't point finger and hand those people to the police. Why? Why we have to fight other people and say that you guys, you must go home because you are selling drugs here? If those people, those who are selling drugs, me, I'm saying the community knew them because they are not consuming those drugs. It's people that they are using those drugs, and it's easy to identify those people that they are using those drugs. They are secret police agents. Why you don't decide maybe to follow one guys that you see that is using drugs, do the follow up and see who is supplying him the drugs and get those people arrested. It's not only been arrested, the chain is long, the chain is big, and the foreigner who is paying the price. Because if you go and investigate properly, those drugs, there are people that they are beneficiaring from it. Not only foreigners, also local. There are also local that they are benefiting from that drugs dealing. But the foreigner are paying the price. If everybody put their hand together, the way that they are putting to fight xenophobia, if they put their hand to say we are going to fight drugs, I'm 100% sure that it's not even for 6 months, there will be no drugs in South Africa. The community must be involved, the police must be involved and sincere, because if there's no sincerity, all that fight will just be in vain. You will never understand in drugs dealing in South Africa. So that my people, let's normally, if it's the real that we're fighting, those ones who are dealing drugs, let's do the right thing and follow those people who are really dealing drugs and put them behind bars, or those ones who enter the country illegally with nothing that they are doing, airing around and so forth. I support the idea that the government and those people can be able to go back to their country. But we can do that with no violence. Violence is something that I don't support, I don't encourage, and me, I will never encourage, because South Africa that I know and South African people that I know, they are very good people. It's because of them I am what I am today, because of South African. And today I'm not going to support those ones who are trying to blacklist foreigner, because they are very good foreigners also in South Africa, that they are also contributing to the economy. On this point of contributing to the economy, that is a little bit things that I want to talk about. Foreigner that own shop in South Africa, those one who own shops, I would say about Somalian, I think it's them who are mostly inside shops and so forth. Guys, if those people are paying taxes, I think that is the main thing that the government supposed to, and the population supposed to be looking at. Are they employing South African? Are they having a correct document? And if the community don't want them in the location, guys, Somalian, leave the location. Leave the location. If someone don't want you somewhere, but just move out from there. Just move out from there. Guys, your life is more important than anything. If people don't want you there, just leave. Guys, just leave. Leave the place and stay alive. Yeah, that is the point that I would like to, that was my third point that of the discussion I would like to have with you guys today. We are going to go to my third point. My third point will be why other countries are succeeding in black sport than South Africa. Why other countries are succeeding in black sport than South Africa. We're still going to come back again to the same thing of discrimination of blacks and so forth. Yesterday we watched the game between South Africa and Canada. Did you see that in the Canadian team, 95% of players was blacks? Me, I'll tell you that in Canada, the majority people living in Canada are white. Who are those black people playing in the Canadian team? Most of them are, we will say, descendants of foreigners. If they are not directly foreigners, they are the children issued from people that come from a foreign country. Today they are playing to the Canadian national team. If we see even in France, it's the same thing. If we see to many countries in the world, you will see a black playing in the team, and those blacks most of the time are not originated from that country. Or the parents come, or they just come, and soon they receive their nationality. They have the same right like a citizen that is born from that country. When you are a citizen in Canada, you have the same right like a Canadian that are descent have the same right. That foreigners are taking our jobs. Those guys come here, they are taking our things. Let's go especially in sport, as we are talking about football. Guys, it's one certain generation. The South African PSL was always animated by foreign players. We are not going to talk to the Mamelodi Sundowns, that is my team that I support. There was a time where there was a Roger Football, a Cameroonian international. If you know, the whole country was vibrating when Roger Football was playing. There was also a Nigerian international, Chuku. They used to nickname him Chuku Train. Why they put him Chuku Train? Because when the guys take the ball in the midfield, when he start to dribble from the midfield to the goal, even if you catch the t-shirt of the guy, he's pulling you with the t-shirt, he's gone. He's gone. The stadium was always full to come and watch Chuku Train, Roger Futumba. We cannot count, there are so many that make the PSL a vibrant league in Africa. But why, when it comes to the national team, we don't see foreigners performing also to the South African national team? To the extent whereby, I don't want to go deeply, like it looked like when the South African national team, when they are trying to build the team, there's still that idea of nationalization. And that, for me, the performance supposed to be what must be guiding the national team, not where are you coming from to play in our national team. If we not beat that idea, that means that if we not lift up our mind to be more than that idea of where you coming from, you cannot play in the national team because you are not born, or you are not a South African born. I remember during I think there was a World Cup 90, if I remember very well, it was maybe World Cup 1994. There was one foreign player who played in the South African national football team. His name was Pierre Issa. That guy, Pierre Issa, was a defender. He was not bad as a defender, but I will tell you that that guy have a difficulty to play in the national team, because if he make a mistake in the defense, I will tell you that all the names in the newspaper the next day will be talking about Pierre Issa is a French, Pierre Issa is not a South African, it's all this. We have to lift up our mentality and lift up our own way of thinking. If we don't do that, I don't think that in sport we are going to be on our top level. We need I don't say that the whole national team must be foreigners. No, I don't say that. But in the national team, South Africa is the highest economy in Africa. Why we cannot even buy a player that we really need, not to play to our national team, just to make our league be more tough. There was a time Mamelodi Sundowns, they signed Brazilian to come and play, to make the PSL become a more attractive league in Africa. But we have to put that even to the level of our national team. We are not saying that we must go and buy player outside, give them nationality to come and play to the national team. No. Because in South Africa, there are most of the foreign players at the end don't end up having a South African nationality and don't end up being accepted to play in the national team. But we are forgetting that when the team wins, it's the country who wins. It's not individual who win. Guys, if we want to make our country proud, we have to think of that idea, not that to put local players behind, but to also, on the position of playing, we must also give a chance to people that deserve to play in the national team if they are a citizen. I think that we are going to be on that level. You'll be have more chances. It's not that it's a guarantee that you'll be winning trophies, but we are going to put more chances on our way to bring that rainbow nation that we're talking about. We must be seeing that on the field. The rainbow nation is not only all the colors, but also the way of showing multiculturalism. That means to see that this guy here is a descendant from this country and so forth. The same that we saw yesterday when Canada is playing. We are seeing the same thing when France is playing. When France win the World Cup, they don't say that African player win the World Cup. They say that it's France who win the World Cup. Who is proud is France. Do you know how much money, when you win the World Cup, how much money comes to the government coffer? There's a lot of money. You see Brazil, the Brazil economy is being lifted up because of the World Cup that they won. Yes, the World Cup, the price of the winning trophy of the World Cup can boost up the economy of a country. It's a lot of money. And it's going to help everybody and help all the citizens. So that is on that point of also why the other countries are succeeding in black sports and that South Africa are failing. We need to start including performance, not nationality, to the criteria to select players. If we do that, I think that we are going to also increase our football and also help other people, help other South Africans to value other fellow African. Because if there is a good African player, when those time when I'm talking about Roger Futumba and Rafael Chuku was playing in Mamelodi Sundowns, I will say that when you go to the Shibin, when you go everywhere, Buy and Bra and so forth, you can see that the national and the foreigner were united because of that issue of football. When they was talking about Chuku, or when we are talking about Roger Futumba, you see the foreigner and the South African enjoying a meal, enjoying the buy and buy, enjoying the drinks in the shibin while discussing about football. It was a great feeling when you see, for example, when Mamelodi Sundowns is playing, you see the foreigners and the South Africans sitting together, sharing ideas, enjoying the football, and so forth. But with this story of xenophobia, it makes the situation a little bit difficult for someone who really want to come to the location and sit and enjoy with his friend. Guys, we have to change our way of thinking to lift up our country that we love so much. Guys, South Africa is a country I love a lot. Yes, our next point today will be why challenge can improve performance and determination to succeed in life. Why challenge can improve performance and determination to succeed in life. I will first going to start by putting something in context. I'll put something that we always see every day in South Africa. When you go to let's go to the flea market. Let's say when we go to Yuval Market, the flea market in Yuval, just in Raleigh Street. Those one who know Yuval in Raleigh Street, you see that there is an African market that are there. Did you see that the challenge can improve life? The challenge and competition can improve performance in life. When you go to the market, you see people selling. There are so many people selling the same thing, the same stuff, but everybody is selling. Nobody is going home empty. Why? Because there is a competition. And during that competition, what is happening is that if you are selling oranges, if you are selling potato, you make sure that you don't sell rotten potato because your neighbor is selling the right potato and everybody is going to go to him. If you end up not selling, the following day you going to go and buy a much better potato quality so that you can be able to improve yourself. That means that is competition. And by competing like that, you end up getting the best product in the market. It's the same thing that I'll be talking today. We'll be talking concerning a football, our national team, the black sport in general. Why putting equal evaluation between South African and foreigner can improve the quality of sport and also improve the quality of black sport in South Africa. In South Africa, most of the time, when a foreigner is playing, he already put in his mind that the national team is not for him. He already put in his mind that the national team is not for him. And that makes that when a South African are performing, he could not go in one certain level. He's competing between him and his local brother that is with him. As he's more than him, he sees himself that he's in the top level. When we are seeing the English Premier League every day, we are seeing Chelsea, we're seeing Arsenal, we're seeing their performance and so forth. When you go to those teams, you're going to find the players who are playing to their respective national team. They are playing to those to improve the league. If there's no challenge, there's no improvement. If, for example, somebody playing in PSL is a defender, there is a foreigner that is playing to another team that is the best defender than him. But for this South African defender, he will not going to compete to reach to the level of that international defender because he already put in his mind that that guy, he will never play to our national team. That means he's going to remain to that level where he is. He's best locally, but he's not best internationally. To be best internationally, you have to compete with also the international people. That means you have to compete with foreigners. If you are a defender or a striker, you realize that the foreigner that is scoring more than you and that he's been called up to the national team. You as a South African striker, what are you going to do? You try to improve your level of performance so that next time you can be able to also play to the national team. The foreign striker that is playing like that, he's going to boost the South African striker to want to reach to his level to also be called to the national team. That thing bring performance. Yesterday, when we was watching the Canadian game, the South African with Canadian yesterday, there was this guy that come in. I think it was maybe 20 minutes before the end of the game. That Canadian player was injured before. It's been 18 months he didn't play. But you see that when the guy come in, it changed the game completely. And that guy has always been praised. Where that guy come from, he's the foreigner. I'm just going to emphasize again to you viewers that in Canada, the black are the minority people. We are not much here in Canada. The blacks are very few. But when you see to the national team yesterday, you see that 95% of players was black. And if you go and look, if they are not nationalized, they are from descent nationalized parent. Guys, that is my review that I wanted to share with you concerning this World Cup that passed yesterday. And I wish South African football the best, and I really thanks the player. Yeah, they did well. The performance was nothing to complain about. Just these few things that if we add it to our national team, I think that we are going to be the best in Africa and maybe even all over the world. On this note also, I would like to thank the president of CAF, Dr. Patrice Motsepe, the president of CAF and the president of Sundowns for what he's doing for the South African football, because you can see on the field that the players, the performance and so forth, the Sundowns players that was in the national team, you can really see that the performance of the team, the performance, the cohesion of the players was there, the game plan was there, but it just needs the spirituality to make the thing 100%. On this note here, I would like you guys to share this video and to like the video so that we will be able to broadcast more video in the future. On this note, I say thank you guys and see you to my next video. Ciao.